Although our country may want to forget about women, here at the Strong Collectors, we love women. So today, Jordan and I are going to be going over our Women History Month wave. No boys allowed, only female figures. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. I'm your host, Dakota, here with my co-host, Jordan. And while we are both men, we want to talk about women. Now, some toy companies, like McFarlane, may be scared to make female figures. They think that the fans don't want them. But Hasbro does do a pretty good job of putting out female figures. And we've got a Women's History Month wave that Jordan and I have kind of teamed up to make. And I think a lot of these figures are going to sell, Jordan. I don't think there's going to be too many peg warmers, and maybe that makes it a little unrealistic. There's got to be some peg warmers in there to be a real Marvel Legends wave, just to kind of get some of those real deep cuts. But even my deep cuts, I think, are going to be fun figures.
Well, then let's get right into it, Dakota. So we're envisioning a traditional wave here, right?
I'll do my three, because I've got three and then the Build-A-Figure. So I'll do my three figures, and I'll save my Build-A-Figure to the end. So to start off, I'm going to hit you with a civilian that we've had before, but I want a little bit different. And we've talked about this. I'm going to say figure one. This is probably going to have to come with, the bulk of the Build-A-Figure, maybe the torso piece. And that's going to be a Mary Jane figure. Of
course.
And I want the Face It Tiger look.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if this is her first appearance, I think. But just kind of the black t-shirt, jeans, get that kind of like classic Mary Jane head. I think that would be pretty fun.
I like that.
Put that with your Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
So I think, I've seen some people want like a Felicia Hardy and some like other like civilian type characters. I think we could maybe do those too, but I think Mary Jane's going to be the one to sell by herself. And then maybe you got to put the...
Do you do like the retro one where you get an extra head so you can technically make it two people?
I feel like maybe I would still do another Mary Jane head, but maybe I would give it more of, like, it wouldn't necessarily fit on the body as much, but like maybe a 90s head or something.
Oh.
Like more of like almost the, like, Megan hair or something from the 3-pack.
Look. Okay, that's fair.
Right.
Maybe you could give her some kind of technology where she could get a jacket. Maybe like trench coat technology, but it's a green jacket or something. And then that can go with your big hair head. Makes it look like 90s. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. If you kind of round it out, I think they could justify. You pop the arms off, get green sleeves, paint the lab coat green, boom. She's got a green night jacket and then an extra head. I think that would be a fair offering for a solo MJ civilian. That actually would sell. I do believe that. So, all right.
Yeah. Very cool.
Great
like
civilian.
All right, so we went Spider-Man. Now I'm going over the X-Men universe. And I was kind of trying to make like all these figures like very important, and I think this character maybe isn't like the most like integral thing to the Marvel universe, but I think for a time she was a super popular character, and that's going to be Pixie. So I'm really shocked that we haven't gotten her as a character yet, because I think it's a very toyetic figure. And I remember kind of around, maybe it was like pre-Avengers versus X-Men, maybe it was probably post that, but like I just remember, like I was like, she's in a lot of books here. Like it was in a lot of like Marvel advertisement stuff. So I think she'd be a fun one to see getting the wings. And I think she's kind of got different looks where she's got kind of the chunkier boots. And again, I think it'd just be a very cool action figure to have.
Add some variety to the shelf.
And round out your X-Men display a little more. Yeah, exactly.
I'd be down.
And then my number 3 is going to be a comic version of Gamora. So I think the only time we've ever gotten this is in that 5-pack of Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was a 5-pack. And I think that's a decent figure. It's pretty expensive now. It actually came with soft goods. I think we could do an updated version. And I'll give Hasbro the option to decide. Do we go with a classic look from like Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, that kind of stuff? Or do we go like a little bit more modern? I personally would be more excited about a more modern look. But I think the fans are probably going to want more of the classic. Or I could see more of an uproar if it wasn't the classic. But I personally think the more modern look is cooler. Like, especially if we could, it'd be like a very deep cut, but I really like the black vortex look for her, kind of with like the sparkly like starlight type of poncho that she wears. I think that's
no matter
cool.
what look you get, then, once you get the Gamora template going, then we could get another one later down the line. So
True.
Best of both worlds. And I think if people would, because really that comic one from the 5-pack or whatever, like that one definitely could use an update, and I think that one still is more if you find it. So yeah, new Gamora, that would make a lot of sense. Okay, I like it. A good variety: civilian, cosmic, X-Men. I'm gonna go right into one that I've been wanting to see for a while, Dakota, and that is an updated Sif. Now I'd be a big fan of putting that on like a Power Princess body. I do like the A-Force look. I do think it's, for Sif, a bit too not substantial enough for the goddess Sif herself. So I think we do that. Give her a cool sword, maybe like I don't know. She probably doesn't need a lot, actually, beyond just a cool sword. So that would make me happy, getting an updated Sif.
I'd thought about a Sif because I do think that would be really cool. I think I kind of just knew, like, Sif is on your list, and I can guess what else is on your list, but we'll see if you stay predictable.
Well, I think the next one is going to be another one you'd predict, Dakota. You know what I know. We're going to have to put Elsa Bloodstone in this wave, and I think it's the time to do it.
Yep.
Just because we're long overdue for that Elsa Bloodstone figure, and I think this could be like your Blade of the Wave, like with the Mindless one, where you pack this one out. She's going to need some swords, some stakes, crossbow, whatever else you can throw in there. You've done it with Blade, Hasbro, so I know you can. Give Elsa Bloodstone every weapon we can imagine, and I think you'd have some pretty happy fans, myself included.
I'd be down for that. I think that'd be cool, and I would love. I would just wonder what's going to happen in a post Elsa Bloodstone world, and what is this show going to become?
What's going to happen to it?
You're not going to have it on your wish list anymore.
I know. I've just been asking for it for so long, but I'll find something else to continually harp about, Dakota. Don't you worry. My next one, this one might surprise you, partially because I can't remember how to say her name, nor have I ever found out. But Caiera from Planet Hulk. Hulk's like, remember, she's like the servant to the king. They get married, and then, she's like the new queen. I've never known how. It's one of those comic words where I've read it, and I've never heard a human being say it. So I've only ever said it in my mind. But you know who I'm talking about. So if anyone out there knows how to pronounce that, please tell me. But I think that'd be a cool figure that we've never seen before, first time in the line. And that'd be a little bit of a more substantial, bulkier one. Get some weapons in there, and maybe we could start moving along and fill out those members of Hulk's Warbound from Planet Hulk. I would be a big fan of that, eventually getting a Meek.
Yeah.
Maybe a comic Korg would be cool, and continuing to move through those guys. So I'd be down for that.
Do you think they would do Meek like small, or would Meek be like bigger?
I kind of want him
the figure size.
A big boy when he gets all I mean, maybe you could throw in like with Korg, you get a tiny, like a little not really articulated, insect Meek, and then he's big boy.
I'm just gonna throw all the year's budget for tooling into Meek.
It probably would take that, yeah. And and I know, Dakota, we're long overdue for a she thing. So that's coming in this wave, too. I feel like there'd be enough of a fan demand deep cut for that. And it also would be pretty easy if we've speculated there's a new thing coming at some point. Just do some retooling, adjust it a little bit, bada boom, bada bang. And that can be your, bulky figure for the wave. Because that's always the complaint, right, is the female figures aren't super bulky or whatever. You can get this one as like your Hulk of the wave.
I like it. And I think the only issue you'd run into is you're going to have to fight Hasbro on, like, was she supposed to be in a Fantastic Four retro wave or something like that. But it is kind of a deep cut enough that it may need to build a figure to sell. So I like the idea, though, for sure. And I think filling out the Fantastic Four shelf is interesting. I've got a few runner-ups in case you
Okay.
had stolen some of mine, which I don't know how it would work because I went first, so you couldn't really steal any of mine. But some other figures that I think would be cool if Hasbro really needed to swap something out here. I thought about Feral. I know people are probably going to be in the comments being like, Feral, 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 Feral. Put her on the X-Force card. I think that's a little bit cooler. So that's why I didn't put her in here, because I think she would fit somewhere else better. I tried to be a little less predictable, so I didn't say Kashala, although, Hasbro, if you want to throw her in this wave, I'll take it. Always trying to get new Magic figures, but, switch it up, give me a Dark Child. I'll take that. Hepzibah, fill out some of your Starjammers. Surge, to go with your new X-Men, and you could use those same gauntlets from Quake. So I think that's got to be coming at some point, because otherwise that's just a waste of those gauntlets. So, well, not really a waste, because Quake is cool too, but you could reuse those very simply. So anyway, those are some of my runner-ups. You could even throw a Calling Wing on there too, but I think Calling Wing would probably fit better in a 2-pack with Misty Knight 2-pack. I think that would maybe cool, but...
Yeah, and I guess we didn't go too villainous. You could have thrown a Morgan Le Fay in there. We haven't really had... That'd probably be a good one. Or
maybe an updated Typhoid Mary.
Or I think a Silver Sable would be overdue as well. I think people could probably use that. So if I can't sell my She-Thing, I would be okay to sub in a Silver Sable, super articulated Black Widow style. Maybe give her some snipers and pistols and whatnot. I think that might might be more realistic, but either one would be cool. But there could be almost, I think, a whole wave with probably female villains that we haven't gotten. But maybe we could... That's going to be in the all villains return wave coming soon, folks, that I'm dreaming up. So stay tuned.
Bad Girls Club.
Maybe they let a few bad boys in.
All right. All right, let's get to the Build-A-Figure here. So,
the room for any bad boys in this Bad Girl Club. Sorry. Continue.
So my Build-A-Figure, to complete the wave, pull it all together, it is, I will admit, maybe a slippery slope, because we're going to be starting a new team by making this Build-A-Figure. But the Build-A-Figure is going to be Bertha. So starting to bring in your...
Great Lake Avengers.
East Coast Avengers?
Great Lake Avengers.
Great Lake Avengers, yeah. I knew it was a different, not West. So, I mean, I think people would like a Flatman, too. I mean, even if you just got Bertha and Flatman, those are kind of the two iconic characters from that team. Maybe you fill out the rest, but probably not.
Okay.
But I think you could have a pretty fun Bertha figure. And then, but trickle out the others over the next 2 decades, probably.
Wow, yeah, that's a good thought. I could see that, and I think people would actually want more Great Lake Avengers if we got that. So, then you kind of weave them in, and then you build the team out by 2035.
Exactly. Anyway, folks, that is our full female wave. Let us know who we missed in the comments down below. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, stay strong. Also, sidebar off of action figures. You've wore that shirt in several episodes. I just now understand that it's like comic issues.
I
thought you were just wearing like a I've got issues.
Right. Comic issues, baby.
Comic issues. Okay. I didn't get it until now. So
the shirt wasn't wrong. You know me well enough, Dakota.
True. Well, that's why I was just like, Jordan's just throwing it out there on his sleeve.
I am not okay. Help me.
Sometimes it takes me a while.
Just, like, setting more and more signs. There's like a banner behind me. Like, what's wrong with me? Why, Mom? You're like, wait a minute. Something's going on here.